It's all anticlimactic, I know. So don't ask me what LE is, but I like the timer. Hey guys, Robert Knowles, Silas Knowles, aka the ZB Pirate, coming at you for our Pushing Boundaries this week for the Recovery Mode podcast. So just as a reminder, this is what we're all about. Basically, Recovery Mode is a 158-page ebook talking about our new normal, talking about COVID-19 and education, how that fits together. As a teacher, as a high school teacher, guys, I'll be completely honest with you. This is my first week back, and it was one of the most tiring, difficult weeks I've had in a long time. Like all the stuff I learned and knew before and planned for, I had to literally throw it out the window and redo everything. So it's real. Definitely go to pushboundconsulting.com. We want to hear from you. We want you to get this book. It is for the best price on God's green earth, guys. It's free. So you can download it. We're looking to do a hardcover edition sometime in the future. But basically, this is what all education, all administrators, teachers, even people who are not in education but have a child, like someone who's going to school, this is the kind of stuff that everyone can get involved with because it affects everybody and everything. So as we go forward, I have a friend of mine on the line that, we went through this whole process. We went through contributors of the book and everything else. And now I'm finding educators that inspire me to have discussions, talk about this new normal, talk about, what can we do better? How can we help people? So during this time, if you guys are watching live, comment, ask us questions, everything else. This is a conversation for everyone. So I'll bring my buddy Elijah on. How you doing, brother?
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Elijah's all the way up, man. New Mexico, all the heat, all the humidity, just hanging out, having fun. But Elijah, before I get going and before we start going through, tell everyone who you are.
Well, absolutely. First of all, thank you so much for having me on. It's an honor. Happy to be here. So yeah, those watching who don't know me, I'm Elijah Carbajal. I'm an educator. I've been teaching for 7 years in the state of New Mexico, in Albuquerque and Aztec, and then back to Albuquerque again. So I got started teaching. I was originally going to be a music teacher. And then as I got into the college program, things kind of changed for me, and I decided to go the route of general education. Nothing against music teachers or anything, but this was the best decision that I've made because I found my passion. And so I'm really appreciative to all the specials and pull-out teachers, but gen ed was the spot for me. So I'm having fun with it. I do a little bit of blogging on the side. And hopefully in the future have a book and maybe a podcast. We'll see.
Hey, for all you publishers out there, we got to keep an eye out. Come on now, you know where to find us. You know where to find us. So Elijah's one of those people who really stood out to me. He's very. There are times he's very active on Facebook and Twitter, and there are sometimes he has his own family life this summer going back in, but I want to show you guys one of the reasons why he inspires me so much. So he's responsible for his own hashtag. He has his own hashtag, people. This man created his own hashtag, and it is very popular and going through and just all over the place. Like literally anywhere you look around on Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or everything else, you see Elijah's fingerprints, his mark basically everywhere. I mean, he sent out stickers, for God's sake. I got one on my laptop right now, and what I want to know, and why, one of the reasons, as of many, of why I wanted to bring you on, how did that start? Like, how did you come up with Shut Up and Teach? Because to be honest with you, I'd love to say that every day and just be like, look, shut up and teach, and show that hashtag. How did you come up with that?
Right. So, well, and that's essentially the mindset that I had when that phrase came to mind. So, I struggle with my own issues, whatever you want to call them. I was battling some depression and some anxiety, just going through. And there was one day where it was just like, it was intense, and I was behind on some things, and the stress of teaching just got to me. And I'm sitting there, it's about an hour before the kids show up, and I'm like, okay, I either need to call in a sub and just go home and have like a mental health day. And I was like, come on, who's going to sub for you, you know, an hour from now? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, that's not even an option. And so the only other option was shut up and teach. Like, you can deal with everything you're dealing with later. You can't afford to bring that into the classroom.
Awesome.
And so that's kind of the whole mentality of that. Is it's not saying, hey, you don't have problems and your problems aren't important, or your issues or whatever your struggles, the things you're going through in life. It's not saying that those aren't important. They very much are. Like, I mean, we're human. We deal with some intense emotions and we deal with some intense situations. And so I'm not negating any of that. But what I'm saying is, don't let that affect the way that you teach. Don't let that affect the type of intensity you bring to your class, or limit you from, you know, giving 100% to your students, because they truly do deserve our best. So that's kind of where the birth of that hashtag came from, and wrote a blog on it, wrote a follow-up blog back in, I think, April or May or something like that. So
how long now?
That's shut up and teach. Yeah.
How long has the hashtag gone on for? Like, when did you create it to now, like the duration of it?
So I started using it right around the time I wrote the blog, which was November or something like that of last year. So
Okay.
yeah,
Definitely.
The moment, the shut up and teach moment that I had, that was, I think, the year before last year or something like that. But I was having trouble putting everything into words.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of have to reflect and mull things over for a bit, and then it's like, okay, now I've got it. Now I'm ready to say it. So yeah, it took me a little while to craft it, but yeah, eventually that was the final product.
And the thing is that your revelation, like your epiphany. I'm someone just tried to FaceTime me. I'm just like, no, that's not gonna happen.
No, not today.
Not today. But your epiphany on what, you know, just shut up and teach. So many of us as educators go through that. You know, you're like, man, I don't want to do the rest of this day. And you're right. You know, we all have that conversation with ourselves. Be like, no one's going to sub for 2 periods for me going forward. It's like, it's 12 o'clock. I can make it till 3 and no one's going to do it. But you're right. I mean, sometimes you just got to just shut up and do it. I mean, you just got to shut up and teach. It's just, and so many people, go ahead.
No, and it doesn't get rid of your problems either. Like, but it does help. So I noticed, you know, in doing that and changing my mindset, because that's really what it is. It's a mindset, that shut up and teach mindset. I noticed that my attitude got better throughout the day. Now, at the end of the school day, yeah, I still had, you know, the anxiety was still there. You know, the other problems that I was dealing with, the paperwork I was behind on, that was all still there. But my attitude had shifted a little bit. And that's really what this is. My encouragement with the hashtag is to not just, you know, belittle people or put them down, say, you know, shut up and teach, just get back to it, you know, because I can see where that can become, you know, it can be used that way. So no, it's really more of a, hey, I know that you've got this problem going on right now. Let's not let it affect what we do with our kids. Let's bring our best. And again, it's not even to say that we don't show our kids our emotions and we don't show them, hey, you know, I'm struggling, you know, I struggle with this, I struggle with that. That's powerful. You know, letting kids in on that is powerful, but I don't want to show them all the gory details of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, you want to show them some stuff, but there's, you know, some stuff you have to keep behind some doors. I mean, and definitely like with this, I think this is your most recent one, you know, it's you always, I know you always encourage to have, you know, these sayings and these comments and everything else. And it's just, going through some of them, you know, I repost these all the time. I repost these,
and I appreciate the support. Yeah, it's awesome
because they really hit home with what we do and with what everyone should do. I mean, now when you know, you're in education, what grade? I mean, I don't know if we talked about what grades do you teach? Like what level?
I'm currently teaching 3rd grade, but and so this is the 2nd year, not consecutive, but it's the 2nd year I've taught 3rd grade. Every other year has been 4th. So
now, have you gone back? Like, are you officially back, like at teaching and everything else?
Not in the classroom. My district decided to remain virtual through the end of the semester, so we won't be back in the classroom teaching until January.
Pretty much like everywhere else on Earth.
A lot of New Mexico schools are making the same decisions. Yeah.
I mean, and I'm in Chicago, and we just found out today that there are some schools around us that are starting to ditch virtual learning and going back to school. Yeah,
Oh
because
wow.
it's not working for them. So it's just it's all over the place. Now, I'm in high school, and I think this is a great thing to talk about. How is virtual learning for you teaching in the elementary setting?
So
I know it's a loaded question. I know.
yeah. God bless our kinder teachers, man. I can't imagine what they're going through. Because I feel like a lot of times, honestly, there are days where things are rocking and rolling and we're just, kids are learning. And then there are other days where honestly, I just feel like tech support.
Yeah.
And it's, fielding questions, not just from kids, but fielding questions from parents who are trying to help their kids. And so there's high moments, but then there's these moments of frustration amongst every party involved. But we just keep holding on to what's working, and we keep doing that well. And then the areas that we're struggling in, we work to improve those areas, and we just kind of go from there. I mean, how is it though teaching you're at a high school? What grade do you teach?
Anywhere. I have a freshman advisory, and then all my classes range from sophomore to senior, and that's where and now I was going to ask, and they're virtual. Do they have Chromebooks at home and stuff, and do they have electronics at home to be able to like use Zoom with them and Google Meet and everything?
Yeah, so we use Google Meet, and just about every kid was either had something, and if they didn't, our school was able to pass out a laptop of some kind, or younger grades, I believe, got tablets too. So
Now, my question is that do they have their cameras on the whole time, or are you just talking to a blank screen?
So I'm kind of open to, and I struggled with this at first because it was like, well, if if something bad is happening, like, and if their mic is off and their screen is off and I can't see that, like, am I responsible? So there's some questions about that. So at first it was really kind of like, no, leave your mics, leave your screens on. Like, let's get to know each other first. Let's see each other's faces. Now it's to the point where there's some kids that will sign in, they'll leave their mic on, but they'll turn their camera off and participate that way. So it's one of those, what hill do you want to die on, and right now the fact that they logged in and they're, still answering questions, they're responding in the chat box, at least I'm getting something out of them. So I'm not going to fight them too much on that. So,
I mean, and with us at the high school level, I mean, we just had professional development after our day, and we were debriefing because this is our first week, and it's kind of like 70-80% with like their camera, they're logged in, but there's no interaction, but they're participating in the chat, and they're participating like, and I'm asking them through Zoom, like I was like, share your screen, let me see what you're working on, let's work together, and trying every trick I know. And it's just during this time, I mean, teachers, if you're watching us and having the same issues we are, you're not alone. This is a continuing thing, and it's not about the content. It's not about, I'm a history teacher. It's not about me delivering the content. It's about trying. I make relationships with kids to connect with them so they can grow. And if it's third grade or a sophomore in high school, it's like, that's what you need to do. And it's just so frustrating. I mean, what do you think we can do to like boost the engagement, of get the social emotional in there to try and boost the engagement and try to get to them through these devices now? Because I mean, you have phones, I'm sure, and you have tablets or whatever, or you have your computer, and we all TikTok, Twitter, but they don't want to be seen on camera. So it's like, I don't see where's the disconnect?
I think it's just going to be, I think for some kids, they're just not going to have that level of comfort. And those kids are the ones in class that are okay with being in the very back of the line. They're the kids who are okay with, not raising their hand. They're going to sit quiet. It's like, nope, I know what I'm doing. Like, leave me to myself. Let me get to it. I'm good. But there are some kids that are going to do it because they just don't want to be there. There is that possibility. But I went to the Teach Better conference, and I heard CJ Reynolds talk about this, and he talked a lot about engagement, and he said something, and I don't know if this is his quote or if he's quoting somebody else, but basically it went like this: I can't lead a horse to water, but I can really make them thirsty. You know what I'm saying? And so it's that whole idea of, are we giving kids something are we giving them a reason to come to school and turn their cameras on? If it's, if we're giving them, the basics, the worksheets, or the this and that, and it's just real, memorization, things like that. Yeah, they're not going to want to be, they may participate, but it's not exciting. There's no real reason for them to turn that camera on or turn their microphone on. It's at that point, it becomes, I'll do what you want me to do, but that's it. I'm not going a step further. And so if we give them something exciting, to do, if we give them something engaging, something hands-on, I'm getting my kids outside for science. It's like, no, let's go outside. You've been sitting too long. You've been staring at a screen too long. Go take a notebook and go take a video camera, go take your phone, go take pictures of something outside. Let's get outside. Let's move around. Getting them excited. I've had more and more kids coming back to science, which is in the afternoon. So that first week, it was like, 14 out of my 18 kids. And the next day it was like 12 out of the 18. And then when it was like, no, we're going outside, we're doing this. And, we're engaging in this. We're not just going to sit down. I'm not giving you a worksheet to fill out or just a page to read. We're getting hands-on. We're going to go out and be in the moment. We're going to be in the lesson. All my kids are starting to come back for science now. And so it's like, it's kind of nice to see that, that different level of engagement. And so now it's a matter of, okay, how can I take what I did there and make it work for math? How can I take that and make it work for language arts and social studies and all of that? So yeah, it's definitely hard. I'm not saying it's easy. Like, I'm definitely struggling with it. I'm having to really like the picture said, I'm really having to dig deep this time around to bring that sort of magic around. But I think it's paying off. And like I said earlier, I think the best thing we can do is find what works and keep doing it well.
Yeah, I think, and this is the time for, educators like you and other people I've talked to on this podcast, just, we can go to the front of the line and just try and model this to the way that it should have been all along. I mean, it's not about so many people. It's about data. It's about the content. It's about it's about making the connection with kids so they want to come to school. They're like, exactly. I want to see what Mr. Carbajal, Mr. Knowles does in class. I mean, I dyed my hair purple one year, and I just, people are like, "What the heck you do that?" I'm like, because I want my kids to come to class to see what crazy thing I'm going to do next. Right. So it's just one of those things where I don't know. I mean, and that's great that you're saying too, is this, and by the way, I just like to say, Mr. Reynolds, you're next on my list. So if you want to be a guest, hit me up, because I was going to come talk to you. I know CJ's awesome. I love his book and I love all the things he does. So, I love to get him on the show. So CJ, if you're listening, call me, brother, please. But, where do you think going forward when it comes to our new normal? I mean, do you think education is just going to go back to normal when we eventually go back, or where do you think it's going to go?
I can foresee, I was actually just having this conversation with somebody the other day. I can foresee some big changes. Because what I'm finding in talking with students and with talking with other teachers is that this online model, this virtual learning model, is working for some kids. Like they're like, it's better for them than actual schooling for whatever reason. And I don't know if it has to do with maybe it's the social aspect, or maybe it's just, hey, I'm in a room by myself and I can focus, but for some kids, we're finding that it's working. For other kids, they are really missing school and they are really struggling with completing work, maintaining that discipline of getting stuff turned in and showing up to meetings. So I can foresee something like having a choice of like, do you want to, what works best for you? And that would honestly, I would hope that it would go that route, because then we do open up student choice and we open up like what works best for them. I think we'll see better results. Maybe not, I could be wrong. But but just based off what I've seen, that, hey, this is really working for my kid. Like I know it's stressful for you guys. I know, but it's, the feedback from parents saying my child is doing really well. And then the feedback from other parents saying it's not going so great. Like they're really struggling. So I can foresee in the future finding some kind of balance between the two. I know there's a lot of parents that want things to go back to normal. Obviously teachers want to be in the classroom. Like if I had that choice, I'd be in the classroom. We all want to be back there. unfortunately it's just not doable at this time. So I would hope to see some big changes like that in the future, though.
And with our school and our situation, it's an interactive remote learning plan. So they have the ability to have office hours with us,
Nice.
3 to a room twice a week, or 2 times we're available that week, but we're all socially distanced. Everyone's wearing masks and everything else. And we actually, if you see the bottom wristband, there's a different colored wristband they use every day to get into the building. So I would rather, going off your last comment, I want to be in the school, to be in the school setting teaching them. I don't want to be in my office with all my junk behind me. I want to be in a school setting teaching them. I want them to see the desks and the board and everything else and feel like they're there. As long as I can, if I can make that connection, then maybe I can go somewhere more with it. Excuse me, but it's just I need that setting. It's just there's just something about a classroom that with any teacher, only teachers can get. Teachers understand, like, there's something about a classroom that you just need to be around.
Well, I felt like I taught much different today because in the morning. So in the morning part of the day, I was actually at school, and parents were kind of driving by. I was dropping off some materials for them. And I just said, I'll teach from school in the morning today. And just being in the classroom felt so much different. It's not even set up yet. The classroom isn't set up, but just being at school just gave me that different type of energy. So and my kids noticed it. They're like, "You're at school, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah." So it totally changed the atmosphere, just even me being there. So it's totally different. I look forward to being back with my kids. I really do.
Yeah, as teachers, if you guys are listening, if you can go to school and teach from your school, do it. It is a world of difference.
Mm-hmm.
The energy is so different, and just definitely, and to end today, because I usually keep my things 20 to 25. To end today, I wanted to show a little thing. This was my first week of remote teaching. Is this your first or second week, sir?
This was week, like 2.5 weeks in.
So I know anyone who's watching, and I was shown this today, and I was inspired to use this today. But anyone who's watching will completely get what happened the first week your child was in remote learning. And you probably have seen this. This is about 4 months old, but I think it's more relevant right now than any place else. So here we go.
All right, can you see me now? All right, I should be good.
Come on.
All right, can you see me now? All right, I should be good now. Everybody see me?
10 plus 9 equals 19.
Yes, like the virus, Veronica. Yep, 19. You guys got it? Like I was saying. You guys see me? After next week, but you guys can't hear me. Okay, wave your hand if you can. I hear you guys. You guys, I'm not muted or anything. Am I connected? Where's the microphone on this thing? Hold on 1 second. I'm gonna check real quick, okay? Honey, do you mind if I use yours, please? But you're not using it right now. All right, guys. All right. Okay, everybody. I'll be back. I'm just gonna use my wife's AirPods. All right. Can you hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Is this better? Can you hear me at all? Do you hear me now? Are you able to hear me now? Are you sure? Okay, great.
Hello, Sammy? It's 3 a.m. Just check Google Drive in the morning and it'll be there. Okay, why are you up so... Just go to sleep, Sammy. All right? Go to bed. The hell? Okay. Kidding me.
No. John, I don't have time right now. I'm in the middle of class, okay? Let's get back to your class. Just... That's connected. Yes, it's connected directly to my router. It's connected directly to my computer. Why wouldn't it be working? No, please don't put me on hold. This is the 4th time you put me on. God damn it! Okay, guys, so just open up the attachment that I sent you guys earlier, and just start checking on that. I'll be right back. I'm gonna check with something. I think I can't really. I'll be right back. Honey, we're all out of toilet paper.
Mr. Hernandez, I think you forgot to mute your mic.
Sorry, kids. Yeah, I'm in the bathroom. Just keep reading, okay? Did I drop? Honey, did the Wi-Fi drop? What did you guys do? I don't have a connection right now, so what did you do? Come on! Kids, what did I say about connecting all your devices to the Wi-Fi? You have every single thing connected in this house. I'm teaching students here. Read a book. Just pull up the document I just shared, and what do you mean you can't open it? You did it yesterday, so why wouldn't you be able to open it today? I don't understand. You're using your mom's phone. Where's the tablet that the school provided? Your mom's using it to watch Netflix. Okay. Yeah, just have her call me, okay? Give me 1 second, guys. Sarah's mom is calling. Hi, Miss Watson. No, we can't do FaceTime because her entire class is on Zoom and that you don't trust Zoom. Okay. Sure, yeah. All right, guys. Sarah is going to be joining us through FaceTime. No. It's just an exception. Noah, do not tell your mom. Don't tell. Hi, Miss K. How are you? What's up? I don't even have that app, ma'am. I know it's free. I just... we're only using Zoom, just as a disclaimer. The most important thing... Jeez. Hold on a sec. I'll be right back. Ah! Sorry, guys. I thought I ended the meeting. Have a great day, okay? Ah!
I think anyone who's in remote learning right now, one or multiple things have happened to them that happened in that video more than one time.
You know, it's funny. I just shared out today the thought crossed my mind today about the phrase, okay, I'm just going to share my screen. Yeah. I don't know how many times I've said that this week, but it's a lot.
You know what? That's for next week. You know what? I'm going to make a log. And every time I just have to say, I share my screen, another one. What I get at the end of the week, even though we have Monday off.
We'll compare.
Definitely. So, Elijah, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate your time today. Definitely. Is there any social you want to put out there so that people can follow you, follow what you do?
So the name on there, at Carba Eli. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram. Of course, Facebook is just Elijah Carbajal. My blog is on medium.com. You can find me there. Search Elijah Carbajal, and you should be able to find me.
Excellent. And then future book, future podcast. This is great, man.
Yeah, we'll see.
This is great. Definitely. So from Elijah, from me, pushboundconsulting.com. So us at the Recovery Mode podcast, we thank you guys for this week. Come back to you next week with another inspiring educator, what they're doing, and just discussing what's going on in education. Please go to pushboundconsulting.com, download Recovery Mode, 158-page ebook for the great price of free. That's the best price of any book, since I know my professional development library is just is big, but when you have free, I'm just like, free is good. I like free. Free is all right. Yeah. So I do appreciate Elijah. Everyone else, we'll see you next week. Please be safe. Have a good Labor Day weekend. Yes, with the news, please face masks, sanitizers, all that stuff. Obviously it's a repeating thing, but it's to keep you guys safe. What are you guys doing to push the boundaries of your classroom, either virtually, if you're virtual, or at school? What are you doing to push those boundaries? And just remember, we're here for the kids. So excellent. Elijah, we'll see you soon.